Hey guys, we're back with Ace Attorney. Last time we got to the trial finally. Still not convinced Gregson's dead. I gotta see a body. Wait, do we have the autopsy report? Doesn't look like it. That's sus. Well, I guess who would do the autopsy? The only coroner in all of Britain is gone. The only one. They can't replace her. Although I imagine we're gonna see her daughter again, right? It's like, she had a sprite for all of 2 seconds. It's that old familiar feeling again. It's probably the final case though. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually no, it's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. Zawa, Zawa, Zawa. There's a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there, I suppose? I think so too. You got our mind. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. A little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. Oh, is that my? Yeah, that's my controller. Stop it. Wait, hold on, let me. Stop plugged in. So Bluetooth. Hold on, let me just turn that off. There. You're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected. Oh, what? A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. A closed court. Is there going to be an audience? Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, I missed you. Your hair's normal. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Noihodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ha! What to one man is a little hair problem? Is another a day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. Yeah, that's rough. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. Don't cry for him. Afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. Oh. Delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And you. See, London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Afraid of my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases? The Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there's at least one point at which I would readily commend you. What an honor. That would be your eye for a good lawyer, sir. True, Mr. Sholmes. After all, behind this lawyer, there's a very great mind. My own! What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Sorry to barge in. Oh, hey Mikotoba. Gina! What's that on her arm? It's a mourning band. Oh, is it? Is that a thing? Father! Shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I said to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there's some fruits to see. I'm trying to see what that symbol I don't recognize. Is a mourning band a thing? I don't know. The armbands are actually kind of cool. It's kind of a shame that, like, you know, there's one certain historical thing that kind of ruined it for everyone. I don't know. Well, at least I assume that's kind of when they stopped using them. Well, I mean, I guess Haruhi Suzumiya uses them, so I mean, didn't stop completely. Yes, Gina? Why do you agree to this, eh? Why do you take him on? This Reaper bloke. Everyone says it was what killed the boss. Sorry, Gina. I just don't believe that. If it weren't him, who was it? We'll find that out in like 10 hours. I don't know that yet. Although, I mean, we might solve the Gregson case in case 4, and case 5 is all, like, high-level stuff. Like, I assume it's gonna... I'm thinking that Kazuma's dad didn't actually do the murders, you know, 10 years ago. No, someone else. I don't know that yet. Then, you know, we're gonna read Hound of the Baskervilles and find out. I don't care who calls him what. The Reaper's just a name. It's just a person at the end of the day. If it turns out it was him who killed the boss, then God help him. Or alternatively, case 5 is someone breaks into the Crystal Tower via the underground entrance that Sholmes talked about in case 5. I've been waiting for them to bring that up, but they never did. Fiery eyes indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing. Eh? At least that may be some solace to the deceased. Please, Odo. Get whoever did this. For the boss. Oh, Gina. No, he's not dead. He's faking it. Just like Kazuma. I ain't feeling this useless. There's nothing I can do. He has amnesia. We've got to find who's done this and make the wretch pay. Counsel for the defense. Hey, we're having a moment here. And the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way to the courtroom at once, please. Alright then. Here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Seeks. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution. Dude, this is still case 4. We're not case 5 yet. You don't need a whole monologue for this. All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. Oh, Sholmes is back! Whatever truth is revealed, we're gonna have to look it straight in the eye. I'm still, like, assuming the main antagonist of the final game is, like, someone we already know. There's 2 people it can be. One is the super obvious Strongheart, right? Like, look at him, come on. But, like, the other... Well, I guess it somehow could be Mikotoba, and, like, but... I'm still not convinced that they're not, like, evil somehow, but, like... Really, it has to be Van Zieks or Sholmes that is, like, the mastermind behind everything. Okay, cut the video, don't tell anyone. That's, like, the perfect place to have to cut it, though. The name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We're here to conduct a fair and just trial of the defendant, Varric Van Zieks. While I'm doing cord management. My microphone cord is all over my keyboard. Counsel for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Oh, he's one-upping us. We're more than ready. Oh, Kazuma-sama. Been wishing to see you in court again for so long, it feels. I never pictured it happening like this. Never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. So-called Reaper of the Bailey. It's been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. I always forget how to say that word. I'm glad I got it right. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Gregson's murder. The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary. Accordingly, it will be conducted as a closed trial, with no members of the public present. Oh, I didn't look in the gallery. Are Her Majesty's direct orders. But there's people. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the jurors' bench shall remain vacant today. No members of the public are present. May I ask who's currently occupying the gallery, my lord? Yeah, are those like nobles or something? They're members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings. Oh, okay. Sure, an equitable trial. Okay, so he is being held to some standard. So he can't just, decide, oh yeah, I hate that Bansing's guy. I hate Dracula's. Members of the judiciary. Oh my. This is a very unusual trial already. There's of course another, unprecedented aspect of these proceedings on which I must elaborate. We're both Japanese. The counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens of Great Britain. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain this is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Kazuma? Very well. Let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. Big ol' scroll. The incident took place on the 1st of November at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. The Professor case. How sure are you about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported at the same time. That's what Gina told us too. There are a number of witnesses. I have a plan of the room. Oh, sweet, thank you. Do you have the body though? We haven't seen the body yet. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly. So, they were probably in the doorway. Well, I think the fact that the door opens in is going to be important. Because if the door was open, they couldn't be in the doorway and shoot him. How's the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. Because remember, the bullet was in the candle, so they had to have been like... Well, the map's gone now, so I can't say. Powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. Oh, so it was close. In other words, it only happened when the target is at point-blank range. I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. Death was instant, resulting from a bullet shot at close range. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. Have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? No, my lord. Not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-sama. For not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim, struck the wall behind them. There's a candelabrum mounted on that wall. The tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. We noticed that too, didn't we? That's right. Thank you for the thorough report, Counsel. Setting of the crime is clear to me. Why do we investigate? Why do we investigate if they just recap everything anyway? You'll submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Crime scene floor plan. Okay. The fact that we have that means it's going to be used later. Is there anything special? The tea! Probably the mirror, maybe? That is a... No, that's not a mirror. It looks... Looking at it, that's a notice board thing. Fireplace right here. I was thinking, what if they shot the mirror and the bullet reflected it? that works, right? Is this his private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone. There's a precious little furniture inside. It's generally in a poor state of repair. What on earth is Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some case or other. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector, the accused, standing alongside holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So, the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Gina? A name, please, Counsel. Naturally. The accused himself. Okay. Lord Ranzix! Careful, don't invite a vampire in. As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken, and will be compelled to tell the truth. Yeah, of course! A legal official will never lie. Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand. I mean, Kazuma's gonna regret those words if he just says, I didn't do it. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Barrack Van Seeks. Old Bailey Dracula. I presume, Lord Van Seeks, that you heard Prosecutor Asoki's opening presses? Stupid Latin. I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. Then I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place. Please, I've been waiting for this. I intend to explain away nothing. I'll simply tell the truth. I say, Van Seeks, I never imagined this day would come. Rather, didn't want to imagine it would come. Part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony, then. Witness. Okay. What's he got to say? Facts of the incident. I was investigating Gregson and my inquiries that led me to that address. When I first entered the room, it was dark inside and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. Spun around, saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew. Isn't this the plot of 1-4? Edgeworth is on a boat, he picks up the gun. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. This is literally 1-4. The testimony was the whole truth? It was. So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants? And 1-5, we're gonna arrest Damon Gant. It's literally Ace Attorney 1. Moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? Unless it's Sholmes. Please don't be Sholmes. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. Oh. I thought you were my mute apprentice. Turns out you have a way with words. Prosecutor Asoki. There appear to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all. Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. I didn't see anything immediately jump out at me. So, well, I think this first one is... I wanted to press this in particular. You're investigating the inspector? What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say... Oh, come on! We're gonna learn this in like 5 hours. You could just tell us now. Sorry? I identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is the court to understand, then? You followed the victim to the scene? No. I was privy to his movements in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his Oh, jeez. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office? Wait, is he not a Dracula? In Japan alone, that constitutes a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Van Seeks? I was aware of the possible consequences. In summary, you're investigating the victim, yet you refuse to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Why did I ever think I could defend, plead the fifth? Right, they're British, they don't have that. It was dark inside, saw no one. Do we present the candle? Have you ever been to this address before? I only learned of this place as a result of my investigation into Gregson's activities. There's no light outside when I entered. It was all but impossible to make out anything. The sun would have only just gone down. It was still but reasonably light outside. The windows was barred. The room had a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way from the outside. Do we present the candle? There's no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? Quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. But feeling there's a small oil lamp burning on the desk, but I couldn't say for certain. Look, floor plan? Oh, no, that's not tea. The small desk in the room just there. There's an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph. Oh, right, the photograph. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate. What did you find? I completely forgot about that subplot that is going to be very important later. I never actually reached the desk. Do I present? Do we know it was lit? I mean, we don't. There's no proof. Well, yes, there is proof, but are we jumping to? Let's keep pressing. Let's just press.
Hold it.
He says that one was shot, the flame went out, so those two kept going more and more. Have you ever been to that address before? No, never. I only learned of the place as a result of my investigation into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it's all but impossible to make out anything. The sun would have only just gone down. Well, I already... oops. Let's just skim the other presses. And then, if that doesn't give anything, we can present the candles. We gotta preserve the HP. Saw the revolver on the floor. Who fired the gun? I have no idea. Didn't see anybody else in the room. Say it was very dark? That's right. All I can tell you is I didn't sense someone else. Then could it be a ghost? It originated from somewhere outside the room? Unlikely given how close it was? That's out of the question. Although the gunshot he heard doesn't... I don't think the gunshot he heard is the one that killed Gregson. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. You can smell the gunpowder. It's going from bad to worse. That's when you noticed the revolver? Correct. I foolishly picked it up. That's carelessness on my part. Presumably, then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm you somewhat hastily took in your hands. Point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold. There's no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired? Ross, I'd like to oblige you with an answer. I'm afraid I can't. I, too, dearly like to know. Okay. The door flew open and I heard a man scream. A man? One of the witnesses? We're gonna meet in a second, probably? One of the street merchants working at Fresno Street. Who are these people? They set up stalls directly beneath the boarded window. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. Is this like a setup for a joke? A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler all walk into an apartment. Gregson dies. That's the joke. You're gonna decide to see what happened. Gina told us about that. They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. Almost gave me a heart attack in the process. You're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come and immediately noticed the revolver and fled. He was arrested by policemen, and scream drew my attention in that direction. And it was only then the body of... How did they know which apartment to go into? Because that was... Wait, was it on the first floor? Have they said? I don't remember. And which way did the body appear? Well, someone closed the door. As far as I could concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point. Then suddenly, there it was. You hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground. The moment when I heard the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. Well, no, I guess the door was closed. So, and he wasn't like right in the entrance, because then the door would have hit him. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances, and it was dark, so like you didn't get time to do like a complete autopsy. So he could still be alive. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea. He was actually just hiding in the corner like Blair Witch style, and then when he heard the scream, he fell to the floor.
Objection.
Oh. Surely the court has heard enough. Oh, what's that? Are we good? My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Baird Franzese, is lying on multiple fronts. Like what? What is that supposed to mean? Good gracious, counsel! The defendant is lying, you say? Oh, good thing we can't have a jury thing. I'm sick of those kind of. In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. That's proven by this candelabrum. Oh, is he on because the uneven lengths? How does that prove anything? If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly of a different length. He's smart! He's smart! Don't they see that the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long? We could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together. Oh, so is this his prosecutor's thing? I think I hear a little bit of like the Cosmo theme in there. Which begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. That must be because that particular candle was extinguished and the others were still burning. Ah! That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. Now the other two candles would have still been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum. I didn't even have to present it. Cosmo presented it for me. That's cool, dude. The accused's claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now, to the next line. There's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. That's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings. That's right, we saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? That sounds familiar, huh? There's a common thread linking all of the documents on that board. Indeed? What is the common thread, Counsel? They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Barrick von Zeeks. All of them? And furthermore, all of those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord! So was this the... What if Gregson was the Reaper? Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Okay, if you said all of them that are acquitted, what about the 3 that lived? Ah! Oh no. In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout and his base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? And yet the Reaper would claim never to have been in his own secret hideout? No one would believe that. Truth is, we've been looking at it backwards. Backwards? Explain, Counsel! Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand! What? What? Order! 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 Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Barrick Van Zeeks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with Prosecutor Asugi's contention. The defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Cosmo's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case, and it's formidable. Counsel? You'll submit the board that you showed it to the court as evidence. Ooh! I believe it will be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. Notice board has entered the court record. And, okay, new witnesses, but first... Anything in the bag? Ooh! What's this? Mr. Naruhodo, look! It's a smudge of some kind. In fact, it kind of looks like a hand! Yeah, how about that? Look, how there, that's blood, isn't it? No, it's ketchup. Gregson was eating some fries. He had some ketchup on him. There's a bloody handprint on the backside. Anything notable on the front? Oh, your after cases dating back years. This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look. Most recent thing appears to be this newspaper cutting here. So, the same Red-Headed League advertisement. Ooh. You remember? There's a red hairpiece at the scene too. Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League then? Whoever lived here probably is. And we do know one person who lost his job 10 years ago, but is still getting paid money. Do you think? Yeah, this guy. This guy. Maybe? Now the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. Are we gonna have 3 of them? They're mentioned in the previous testimony. Yeah, I know. Street sellers. Very well, lead the witnesses in. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. Oh, cute girl, cute anime girl, cute anime girl! It's Beepo! It's Beepo again! I think state your names and occupations for the court. What is that? Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. We're just free and easy. Sell what we like, live where we want to live. I gave them a vacant stare as they walked down Fresno. Spit a few words into a verse for them. Will it be right in assuming that all 3 of you make your living selling wares on the street? Everyone calls me gossip. So jaunty little tidbits to passerbys, you know? Jaunty little tidbits. Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Right up your ginnel, it is. Ginnel? 6 pence is the price and not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? Come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Try the man. Give him the money and see what it is. Pay the man, counsel. Alright. 6 pence it is. Banzig's better be paying us for this. You won't regret it, sir. Got your listening ears on? Just between us, young couple on Slate Street have just had twins! Wow. Worth every penny. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? Watch the spread. That bit's up to you and your mouth, of course. I've got more, you know. Want another juicy one? 6 pence a piece it is. If you're curious. I am curious, yes. What's going on under that fat bottom lip of yours? Yeah, it's like the opposite of Churchill. It's the opposite of a stiff upper lip. Is that the pun? Is that the joke? Namely, that unusual bruise or whatever it is that's poking out under your collar. What about the next witness? What name do you go by and what do you sell? Me, I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, isn't it? Oh, I almost thought she was a cute girl, but then she's British. Like, that went away. Oh, so these lovely fireworks to all the local school kids. That's a little dangerous, isn't it? 6 pence a pop. What do you say? You weren't exaggerating with a little. They actually sell? Did she light the match on her skirt? Oh yeah, the second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Wait, so they heard a gunshot. Gunpowder. He smelled the gunpowder. We all know what happened. She's evil. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? Want a part with 6 pence for a pop? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, let you in on a little secret. You get 100 of them, you can blow up the whole courtroom. Oh, that's an idea. Try the woman. Give her the money and see if she's right. Pay the woman, counsel. Alright. You guys buy one. I'll buy one. Lovely stuff. Right then, this is something a bit extra just for you. The Venus special. Only 600 pence. 600? It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? There's nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey either. Okay, yeah. The last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell? Use. Have you got an idea, Mr. Naruto? You're staring at the end of a string of fireworks. It's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? She said we could blow up the courtroom. Bang. Alright, that was a fairly sizable bang. My ears are still ringing. Sounded almost exactly like, Okay, everyone saw that coming, right? I'm not a genius. I feel like everyone immediately should have realized that. What name do you go by and what do you sell? I'm a thinker, me. Think of all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. Because I stand there on the street watching the world go about me. They call me the Observator. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls you Sandwich and you know it. You don't actually sell anything. A problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and think what it means. Hot, actual, something? I don't actually sell anything. Don't come to think of it. Pity. No more purchases, please. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. I want to see, do we have their profiles? Yeah, question mark, question mark, question mark. They could be anywhere between 10 and 90. We do not know. I like your smug little smile there. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. Let's see. Let's say the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witness the crime. I'd be biggered, I thought. Just between us. Venus de Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. What I think is, if all well what we see is light and shadow playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. Witness testimony. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went in the building. It was less than a minute after Reaper had gone inside that we heard the big bang. Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. Interesting. Ran into the room and there he was! The Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. Scared half to death, me? So I ran off to find a copper. I'm just wondering how many of them are bought off to do this. These witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything. Like, it's clearly been established that these are all three people that need money. Who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barrick Van Zeeks. Seen pictures of that Reaper in the paper. Know what he looks like. Just between us, folk love stories like this. Made myself a tidy sum already. Wait, the room was one of the several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. Yeah, I brought that up. All those flats in Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. Small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. The room in which the Inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. We know the leaseholder's name, yeah. Hugh Boone. Testimony the court has heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. How do they know which one is leased? Is there like a little nameplate out front or something? It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. No! No summation examination. Thank you for your candor, my lord. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witness. Yes, my lord! In a closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down this testimony. Somehow! Cross-examination. The witness's account. The sham. Okay, so what line was it that was fishy? There's one that stood out. It's listed a minute after the Reaper had gone and said that we're only the Big Bang. That's kind of notable. Quick to talk is gossip couldn't what? Okay, that's it. Okay. When gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too? Well, I'm a bit hampered. See all the signs is that I can't move very well. You're way behind, presumably. That sandwich board around your neck and the big sign in your hand. Sandwich board? What a great burden you bear. Is that where he gets his name? But is it possible you and I have met before? Oh, hey! Not anybody, me. Signs are what make me who I am now. I signed, therefore I am. You weren't employed. Okay, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago. Then I honestly thought they were just reusing assets with them. Might be mistaken. Believe his trembling is intensified, Mr. Naruhodo. He's clearly been through a lot. Turn down the King Henry Street as the Black Widow's arm is just there. Get him hide behind a sign. Life is full of surprises. But not that one then. Kind of. Enough to find out. That's pretty noteworthy. She's... I know she's evil, but she's cute. I can fix her. I can fix her. Like, I like how her little hair things, so they're tied like in a way like that.
Hold it.
Oh no, I'm a simp. You didn't get into the room with your friends? Not that sort of girl. Sorry. I'm a timid little thingy. Too scared to go in there. Ah, right. I see. Oh, Lippy and the witch ran in there. Then I heard a sort of old lady scream. That wasn't me, I swear. Well, gentlemen, I'd stake my honor on it. What on earth is going on? Just when you went out to find a policeman? We ran into a copper as soon as I turned the corner. Ran up straight back to the place. Didn't I do well, eh? But just between us. Oh. That copper's eyes nearly popped out of his head when we saw the Reaper. The defendant was arrested on the spot, I believe. Considering the catalog of killings, it's a particularly inauspicious end. Can't find any holes in his testimony. Yeah, guilty verdict. There doesn't seem to be any obvious problems. If he really is innocent, then I'm almost certain we'll find something in there that doesn't quite add up. One of these three could be the true culprit, do you? What I do know. There's more to this case that has yet to be brought to light. I think the second line.
Hold it.
Which presumably you mean the gunshot. So these little things, don't I? How do I know what a gunshot looks like? I always thought it was probably sounded a bit like this, doesn't it? So you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant enter the building? That's right. It's almost straight away. Bang! It went like, just like that. He's the Reaper, isn't he? What the French call it. Fate accompli. Can we get Madden 2 spells in here to translate? Oh, her name! She's based off a real person, by the way. Have I mentioned that? I always thought her name was a pun. No, there's just an actual, like, waxwork person with a similar or the same name, I forget, from this era. You were going to the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it? I think we get the message. Reaper couldn't allow the inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for the crime. Yes. Certainly an eminently credible motive. Great. At that point, you ran inside. Is that correct? Do I have any evidence? Red-headed League photo. Oh, I need to go over all this old stuff. Letter of introduction. What was this? The boat ticket. Okay, I don't know how that's going to come into play, but dismissal, that's not relevant yet. Frame photograph. Oh, I forgot about this. Is this Beepo's? Murder weapon. The wig. Presumably it belonged to Gregson. Yeah, of course. Oh, we do have the autopsy report. Maria Gori. Victim was shot in the chest at close range from the front, resulting in instant death. Squirt marks at point of entry. Bullet exited from behind. Standard issue for members of the judiciary. Kazuma killed him! Crime scene floor plan. Wait. Well, you didn't see it from start to finish. Standing over the dead body. Okay, game. I forget what I have and haven't pressed. I think it's 1 and 4, but I'm not for sure. So, game FAQs time. Is this just to press everything? Karuma. No, Karma, sorry. Trial part 1. Press first statement of the witness's testimony. Press 4. Really? The 2 I didn't press?
Hold it.
But I guess the start to finish thing is a bit... What do you mean when you say they? Gregson and the defendant? Suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. Tell you one thing. It's the old Reaper that went in last. That's for sure and certain. Just beyond Gregson? They arrived at the same time as each other? No, not at all. First fellow must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot. 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that? Am I sure? Am I sure? It seemed like we had forgotten a fellow with bright red hair like that, does it? Oh, okay, okay. This hair really were red, weren't it? Redder than my flaming fireworks, even. So I wonder if this was Gregson. He could have been wearing a wig. Fiery red mop still burnt on the inside of my eyelids, it is. Wait a minute. You saying the man was a redhead? Weren't you listening, chum? He was a wet redhead. And a big trunk with him as well. A trunk? Gregson's hair isn't red. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Seems likely it wasn't Gregson at all, but some other third party. I hate to break it to you, the witnesses are correct. What? Have a look at the photograph of the victim. Oh. Okay, he's not looking so hot. It's Gregson, alright. A red hairpiece. Of course, you saw it on... Yeah. Still refuse to believe he wore a hairpiece, though. Why on earth would he even... obviously, it's... Color doesn't seem to suit the man, one might say. Is the judge part of the Red-Headed League? What became... Hold on. We can see the full picture here, can we? Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of blood. He could still be alive. He looks pain. Oh, Gregson. What became of the trunk? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. So just disappeared? You expect us to have been watching the building every second, do you? We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that. Okay, 4. The only one I haven't pressed at this point. You're the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right? That I was! Kicked the door open like a professional, I did. You know, what's going on here? Ramsey claimed he heard a man scream, though. Was it dark inside the room? No, not dark at all. The candle was burning on the wall. Really? There's a fellow collapsed on the floor. Just between us, it's the first thing I noticed when I got inside. I see. Even though Lord Van Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall. Next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. The accused, Beric Van Zieks. That's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. Is it? I mean, if they saw the lights and Van Zieks didn't, is it because of the door? Like, can you see my mouse? No, you can't. Was he over here? Door open. Well, no, they said they opened the door, didn't they? That's weird. The fireworks somehow light the candles again? Like, relight them? Or was like something blocking the body? Like, was there something here? Like, the notice board somehow? Did they move it? There is a bloody handprint on it. Right? And Gregson, there is a lot of blood, so... Well, no, his hands are not blood. Well, this one isn't. This one we can't see. A little shocked, I won't deny it. I'm no lily-livered coward. Stood my ground and give that Reaper a hard pull stare myself. Was he the one that screamed?
Excuse me.
You have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. There's 2 slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me. Think that maybe you just remembered something? Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. What I think is, we're all nothings really. We try to dress ourselves up as something else. At the end of the day, we're all just street sellers. It's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to make you into a real sandwich. When we saw the Reaper, he fell clean over in his backside. That's it? Oh, you rotten beggar! Don't need to keep that a secret. Maybe that's why he saw the lights? He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all 4s. That's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gossip, is that true? Floor is dead slippery, that's why. Planted my hand in the filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck. Oh! He touched the notice board then. What? A pool of blood? Listen here. Even when I was sprawled on the floor, still kept giving that Reaper a cold hard stare. Don't you forget it. Let's just go back a little. You say you got blood on your hand? I did, I? I was the best of us at times, doesn't it? I'm so scared, so I slipped over. Keep it between us, can't we? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm gonna have to ask you to add that information. Yeah, okay. If I must. And slipped over and got blood on my hand, so I quickly wiped it off on the floor. The floor? Can I just present this? Do I have to press this? I could look at the guy, but no, I'm no coward. Let's go! You wiped off blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that? Oh, what else would you expect me to have done? Does it really matter? The police have found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is the defense, sir? If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Asogi. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There's a handprint in the blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Ah, yes indeed! Indisputably, a handprint is the distinctive color of blood. You're dead right. That's my hand. I know it anywhere. Yeah, he knows his hand. Actual hay-hole? The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprint on the back of the board are irrelevant. None of the board itself has fallen over onto the floor. In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. What does that mean? Just look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room of the victim, in an upright position. Even if it had somehow been toppled and it was lying on the floor at the time, would have been at a considerable distance from the body. Not if it was over here. Well, oh, you can see my mouse, okay. Fell over and I came across the body. Hold on, do we, does this have wheels? No, it doesn't. I was basically right next to the corpse. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Sorry, I missed a line, I think. Not on the other side of the room. So someone moved it. Yes, it is. Did Beepo move it? There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. Think you formulated a proper hypothesis, counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint. I have, my lord. The discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by the board moving? I think it's gotta be, right? The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is. Right, is this the kind that can flip over, or is it just wood? Yeah, okay, it's just wood, so it can't, like, flip. The witness had his hand against the board. The finger should be pointing upwards. What does that tell us? It tells us one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection.
Was it just me, or was the chattering quieter than usual? Like, I think they still played the chatter, but it didn't sound the same. Claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting? Or maybe I just imagined the chatter in my head. Then tell the court who! I don't know that yet. The point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. That would be the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, let's ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. The time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board is situated? Probably like right here?
Take that!
This is the only possible... Okay, closer to the door, but still. Immediately adjacent to the doorway? The court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier. He said that when he entered the room it was dark, and he couldn't see the body. Bayek! The notice board had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. The light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection.
The accused also claimed that the victim's body simply appeared before him because it got tipped over. That's true. Or in his precise words. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know about calling it a scream. It's talking about me and no mistake. Because it was me that kicked the door open. Look again at the floor plan. Consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with forward. Ah, okay. Dominoes. That can't. Then the door struck the notice board, knocking it over, making the victim's body visible. Good gracious! My client has told nothing but the truth. He simply described what he saw. Ah! Order! Order! Counsel, house has not come to light before now. After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it. Into the position where the police, myself, my colleagues saw it when investigating the room. Witness! What have you to say for yourself? Oh, me, my lord! Was it Beepo then? Beepo has a history with Van Zieks. Wasn't he scared of him back in Case 3? Maybe. That's so long ago, I'm not for sure. You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. Goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. They'll each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Stop looking over your glasses at me. They get the message. How far in are we? Hold on. Checking my footage. Oh, we're like an hour in now. Okay, I think that's up. That's a good stopping point. I will see you guys next time for the second half of Trial Part 1. I think there's a second part. So, yeah. See you guys then. Bye.